everybody, welcome to the first edition of Ask the Texas Oak, starring Classic Physique champion Logan Franklin, brought to you by GAT Sports. And now please welcome, all the way from Texas, the Texas Oak, Logan Franklin. How are you, Logan?
What's up, man?
So you've been putting out some good content on your channel, a lot of training stuff, but I want to get some on our channel with some good info for your fans. So I came up with some questions. These are things I think a lot of fans will be interested in knowing. So if you're ready to rock, here we go. First question.
Let's do it.
Your coach, Milos Sarcev, is a huge proponent of intra-workout nutrition. I saw on your Instagram that you now use the following GAT Sports products while training. 2 scoops of Carbotein. Carbotein gives you 62 grams of carbs, 10 milligrams glutamine, 12 ounces of Body Armor, 21 grams more carbs, and that's mixed in only 8 ounces of water.
So the 12 ounces of Body Armor, 12 ounces of fluid with 8 ounces more water. So 20 ounces total fluid in your shaker cup.
Okay. Does Body Armor have protein in it too?
No, I don't think so. It's just carbs.
Okay. So
it's like it's like better than like Gatorade or Powerade. It's not real sugar. It's like natural sugar stuff.
Okay, gotcha. So my question is, how long have you been utilizing intra-workout nutrition, and what benefits have you seen so far?
I've been using it for years. I don't necessarily know when I started, maybe back in 2015, 16. But yeah, pretty much every workout, it's just gotten better. Like I've added glutamine over the years. I changed from Gatorade to the Body Armor just recently. I literally just recently discovered the Body Armor, so that's a new addition. And yeah.
Okay. So do you feel like, are you able to like sustain pumps longer during your workout? I mean, because that's Milos's thing, is you need to shuttle those nutrients in while you're training.
Yeah, definitely. This whole purpose is, feeding the body, in and around the workout, shuttling the nutrients into the bloodstream. And it's all glycogen. It's pure glycogen. So it's gonna respond. It's gonna absorb into your body really fast. And a lot of people have this misconception that recovery starts whenever you get home and you eat your meals and then you rest that night. But I believe that recovery starts after set 1. Like the moment when I hit set 1, even before I start my first set, sometimes I'll take a little sip from my intra-workout shake that you just mentioned. You just mentioned all the ingredients. So I'll start sipping on that immediately. And I'll make it last pretty much my entire workout. So just constantly keeping glycogen in the bloodstream and having the carbs available there for my body to continuously be able to push the way I push my intensity in the gym.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, it's working. The pictures they post from your workouts, you're pumped all to hell. So it's definitely working. So next question about calf training. I know one of your goals was to really make your calves an outstanding body part. What strategies have you implemented, and have you seen significant improvements yet?
I've definitely seen improvements. I'm not going to say significant, like, I've gained inches on your calves. It's definitely something that is taking years and years for me to feel like they're finally getting somewhere. Yeah. But as of the late, this year I started training with Hunter Labrada and his little crew, Jordan Vanderflyer, Ryan Brown. We're all kind of training partners. So I've gotten a bunch of pointers from Hunter Labrada, body positioning and how I'm pressing off of my foot, the way that I'm squeezing my calf rather than just trying to, come up on the foot. There's like a technique of thinking about taking the ankle, how your ankle, not the back, but the front, like where your Achilles, but the front, just thinking about taking it and pushing it as far forward as possible. Little adjustments like that, thinking of doing that in the movement helps activate the calf just so much more. Also, doing it the right way, like doing knees bent or leg locked out, in the right order, things like that. So a little bit better.
Do you train them a little more often or less often, or has that not changed?
Oh no, I'm training them maybe 3 times a week. So
yeah, cool. All right. So next one is, you're a big Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, so I'm wondering, have you ever tried his workout where chest and back are done together as all supersets?
I've tried doing that a few times, but normally the workouts like that take a really long time for me.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just do the bro split, chest only or back only. I'll do rear delts with back sometimes, or I'll do some rear delts in my garage, like whenever I'm doing touch-up work.
Yeah.
Usually I'll do that on a back day. Like I'll train back earlier in the day, and then a few hours later in the evening, say whenever we put my wife and I put our son to bed for the evening, I'll go in the garage, smoke a blunt, and then do some pull-ups. And then after pull-ups, I'll do like rear delt movements and then a little bit of posing if I'm feeling it. So
yeah, I mean, chest and back alone that's a lot to do in one workout. Back.
Oh yeah.
Throwing rear delts in, that's back. If you do back and biceps, that's a long ass workout. Back and chest all in one workout.
Oh yeah. It's crazy. And I don't have that much time anymore with the little one. So also trying to manage the whole day better. So therefore Marissa can, have her opportunity to leave the house as well, and, make it to the gym and make it to where we're both able to, get out of the house with the equal amount of time pretty much. So trying to stay.
Yeah.
What's that?
I say when Arnold was doing that, I don't think he had much going on. I think he had the whole day to train if he wanted to back then. So
yeah, I remember those days only a few years ago, but dang, life hits you, and you got to adjust.
Cool. Yeah. Here's a good one. How do you gauge recovery from the previous workout for a given body part? If it's sore, does that mean to you it hasn't recovered yet? And do you still get sore all the time from training in all body parts?
Oh yeah, I get sore all the time. Still, every single workout, I'm sore from my chest workout. I'm sore from my back workout, my arm workouts, my leg workout. Every single day, I'm sore from it. A couple days later, but I never really experienced that muscle group is sore all the way up until the moment I hit that muscle group again. Yeah. Normally, I would think that it's not being overtrained. You're just being malnourished. You're not eating enough. You're not having enough nutrients. You're not resting enough. So all these things, you should be checking the box off. It's like a, what's it called? 3-leg. If you don't have one, you don't have the others. What is it?
Right, like a pyramid.
Yeah.
Triangle.
Whatever. Early morning.
It is early morning. But yeah, that's a good question. That brings up the question: how often do you train a body part? Like, say, if you train chest today or something, when are you going to train it again?
So my splits right now are 4 days training, then 1 day off, and then it restarts. So I'm doing back day, then chest, then arms, then legs, then rest. Then I restart it. Okay. But my leg day is switching. So one leg day it's quads, calves. The next leg day it's hamstrings, glutes, calves. And I'll do say like one quad exercise that day or one hamstring day on the opposite day. Like a lying hamstring curl or a leg extension just to touch the muscle still. Yeah.
So I guess you're training a body part every 5th day, it sounds like.
Basically.
Yeah, if you're doing 4 on, 1 off. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. When trying to get ripped to shreds, do you incorporate cheat meals and refeeds, or do you just stay on the diet for the entire prep with none of that?
I mean, I just stay on the diet year round, and I'm at the point right now. I mean, my triceps are strided in the middle of the off season, and I'm in a health recovery phase, in between off season cycle and my competition preparation cycle. So I've been off for a little over a month now, and I'm still holding, my body composition and everything. And that's just because, I take this very seriously, year round. I'm always dieting. I'm eating wholesome, nutritious foods, day in, day out. Although I am enjoying, like the things that you don't really enjoy on prep. I'm adding cereal all the time. I'm eating a cheat meal whenever I feel like eating a cheat meal, but every other meal other than those little things is, something that's feeding my body for a purpose and what I'm trying to to reach my goals. So,
Yeah.
but to get shredded, you know, it's like I said, I'm staying lean year round, so it's a lot easier for me to just lock it in instantly, and it doesn't take much adjustment for me to do so.
Yeah. I mean, you know, as long as I've been following you, you've been staying lean all the time, relative to a lot of other people who don't stay lean like that at all. Was there a time years ago when you didn't stay as lean in the off season, you tried to bulk up, or were you always someone who stayed lean?
I'm always someone that stayed lean. I've you know, looking back, like all the guys back in the day, you know, I never really saw any legend or golden era bodybuilder or fitness icon that people look up to. You never really see any pictures of them looking so astronomically different from, you know, in season to out of season. You know, I feel the same, you know, whenever, I mean, I do a lot of appearances and I'm going to be doing guest posings, and I do posing seminars, things of this nature. I do photo shoots year round for companies that I endorse. So like, I got to stay in shape, and, you know, I want someone, whenever they see me in person, they're like, oh, that's who I look up to. Not, oh, they see me in person and I look completely different than what they get, you know, online or social media or whatnot. I'm not the type of bodybuilder that only looks good one day out of the year on show day. You know, I look this way year round, and it's a true lifestyle that I've adapted to, and it's a part of me. It's who I am. So
Yeah. You know, these golden era legends, a lot of times I think they did get out of shape, or at least a little bit, but there was no cameras on them at that point. They did photo shoots before the show, right before their shows, pictures at the contest, photo shoot after the contest, and then nobody took a picture of them for like another year. So I think it's tougher for you guys now because of social media. You constantly have to put out content. So if you ever got out of shape, everyone's going to know about it. Like, and it'll be, you know, if you got even a little bit fat, yeah, everyone be like, Logan's fat.
Oh yeah, there's definitely that. You know, if one day you post a picture and it doesn't look near as good as, you know, a picture that you posted on prep, someone's gonna make a video about it and say, oh, is so and so downsizing, or he's whatever he you know. So social media probably has a really big impact. And you're right, you know, the guys back in the day, they didn't have the same technology that we have today. Social media, constantly on a cell phone taking a picture, having so much digital content. You know, back in the day, it was probably a lot more what do they call whenever you just take a pic and the picture comes out and you have to flap it? What is that?
Polaroids. Yeah.
Polaroids. Yeah. Or video camera stuff. But yeah, so you're right, social media has definitely changed the perspective of things, but I don't know. Yeah,
I mean, it's you know, it's got the good side and the bad side to it, but I mean, it does keep people from getting fat. So I think in that sense, it's not a bad thing, because I don't think it's healthy for people to bulk up to, you know, 20+% body fat like I know they used to. I used to see these guys back in the day. Some of them used to get really heavy, and they guest pose like
my
that.
thing is I'm so terrified of allowing my waist to get out of control that I feel like if I stay dieting the right way, correctly, and doing this the right way year round, you know, not only will it allow my body to continuously get leaner, like you can see, I mean, I'm completely strided in the off season.
Wow. Jeez.
I mean, you know, but I'm still growing and making gains. I'm 235 pounds right now, and it's like as if every year my body compounds better and better to allow my body to stay more lean, and I look and feel better whenever I get on prep. It's not hard. I don't have to really do a whole lot of cardio. I do like 15 minutes of cardio, maybe a couple times a week on prep type of things. So that's a big reason of why I do it as well.
Yeah. Is this the highest? Is this the most you've ever weighed? 235?
This is the most that I've ever weighed looking the way I do. Yes. So this is a whole different thing for me this year.
Yeah. Because what's your weight cap?
I would like to say it's 230 because I'm 6 foot, you know. Hospitals have me. I just got my blood work a few weeks ago, and even, you know, the hospital has me measured at 72 inches. They measured me right there. My I just got a new driver's license. The DMV measured me 6 foot, but it seems like the IFBB keeps measuring me, a quarter of an inch under 6 foot. So what that's doing is it's moving me from the 230 weight class to the 222. So I don't know. It seems like I'm the only guy that's getting shorter, and everyone else keeps getting taller, and they're getting moved up to a weight class above what their weight class should be. So I don't know. I need to figure out what they're doing to get taller, whether it's stretching or I even bought this. Well, you have the champion that said that he had an inversion table and used an inversion table. And then from 1 year to the next, he grew like an inch and a half.
Wow.
From 2019 to 2020, he went from the 230 weight cutoff to the 240 weight cutoff. And ever since he's been at the 240. So I'm trying to debunk that right now. I actually bought an inversion table. It's in my garage right now, and I use it regularly. So if I get to the Olympia this year and I'm shorter, I'm gonna have to call that there's some bullshit there. But
oh man.
Just keeping everything transparent and being very real, because like I said, I take this very seriously. This is my livelihood. This is my dream, my passion, and I definitely want the playing field to be even. If people are a certain height, I want it to be held accountable. So, but yeah, like I'm trying these things, trying to make sure that I step on that scale or getting heighted, and I am at the proper height.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's at the 6 foot. And like I said, if it's at 6 foot, then I can weigh 230 pounds. And if it's at, a hair under 6 foot, then I'll only be able to weigh 222. So we'll see.
Yeah.
At the Arnold Classic last year, at the 2021 Arnold Classic, I weighed in at 221 pounds, and all the judges are still saying that I need to get bigger. So I really don't understand how all these guys are getting so much bigger than I am while, staying within their weight cap, supposedly. That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah, I have an inversion table myself, and maybe I'm doing it wrong, but
Maybe I am too, man, because I need to figure this out. I need to figure out how these guys are getting that extra height.
Yeah, I keep getting shorter and shorter, but maybe that's because I'm, friggin'
maybe it's the age. Once I heard once you have kids, you start losing your height and your hair. So
what is that true? Man, I just thought I was just getting older in general. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's an injury question that I came up with, but it applies to a lot of people. If you were training quads and felt a weird pain in your knee, would you stop doing that exercise but finish the workout, or abort the whole workout at that point?
I would probably back out of it. It would all depend on what you felt. I mean, you got to know what's good pain, what's bad pain. You got to kind of understand the difference. If it's knee pain, there could be multiple different things. It could be something that's from the way you're doing the exercise, from form, execution, how you're moving through the movement. Whether say you're doing a squat, if you're moving your back first or something, and then your knees bend, you want to initiate the movement by unlocking the knees. Like you want the knees to move first, type of thing, right? Well, not move, but you want to bend at the knee first, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So you gotta take into consideration of how is your form, have you been stretching, have you gotten soft tissue work done to try to make everything correct. So to answer your question the way you asked, it all depends specifically. Like I said, you got to understand what type of pain you're feeling. But me, I've never had an injury type of knee pain. Thank goodness. I'm going to knock on wood.
Sure.
But what I would do if I was in that specific situation, I probably would just ease out of what I'm doing. I would probably stop the set right then, ease out of it, and then, try to figure out what is going on, right there. Like, okay, is it my form? Is it because of one of these things that I just mentioned? Can I continue my workout? You got to kind of go with how you're feeling. You got to listen to your body. So, yeah, it's really relative to the situation and to the individual, I guess.
Okay. Our final question, and I made it a salty one. Classic is exploding in numbers at the amateur level, but I'm seeing a ton of guys who have nothing classic about their physiques at all. They don't have aesthetically pleasing shape or structure. They just happen to be able to make the weight limit. Obviously, this is great for contest promoters, but do you feel it dilutes the quality of the division at the amateur level?
What do you mean? Do you mean too many people turning pro? You're saying too many people are turning professional?
No,
Is that what you're asking?
maybe I should have put it. Maybe that's what should have been the question. But I mean, we see bodybuilding numbers are going way, way down at the amateur level, and classic numbers are going through the roof. But it's a lot of guys, they don't have the classic look. There's nothing really pretty about their physiques. It's they happen to be able to make the weight limit for their height, so they just jump into classic. Do you see that as a good thing or a bad thing, or just no opinion?
No real opinion. I mean, people are going to compete in whatever division they want to compete in, whether it's meant for them or not. They want to do it because it's more fun, or a healthier option. As a bodybuilder nowadays, these guys are like walking refrigerators. They're fucking massive. So a lot of these guys coming into the sport, or maybe they've been in the sport for a while, they just haven't broken into that pro rank. They want to do something that's more realistic for them, something that maybe they're going to experience more longevity with their life extension. And they just want to do this, for a specific period of time in their life. And they want to have, a healthy life period after bodybuilding, which is what I've been trying to preach, with people getting their blood work done and staying healthy and taking things to, negate, your organs, your kidneys, your livers, your heart health, excuse me.
Yeah.
All these things taken into consideration, but which it seems like a lot of guys aren't doing, but who knows?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's the healthier option. Whether it's getting saturated or their body is not meant for the division. Like I said, not everybody can be, the ideal classic shape. Not everybody can have the ideal men's physique shape. Not everyone can have the most developed Phil Heath open body shape, or Ronnie Coleman. Everyone wants to weigh 300 pounds because Ronnie Coleman weighed 300 pounds, but do they need to weigh 300 pounds? Should they be weighing like 250 and have more quality? So there's definitely a lot of things that people should be thinking about, whenever they're going through this and what they're trying to do. So if somebody's, moving from the open division, and well, I guess it would just be called bodybuilding in the NPC.
Yeah.
If someone's just moving from bodybuilding to classic, I would think it's just for health reasons, or maybe sure it is because it's an easier look, but I don't at all agree with it being an easier look. It's just as difficult, if you really look at the top guys in the classic division. For the most part, a lot of the guys like Chris Bumstead, Terrence Ruffin, Breon, these guys have very complete physique. So that's true bodybuilding. Bodybuilding to me isn't about just mass and how big can one be. Yes, to me, mass and size is very important, but it also needs to come with the quality, the separation, the symmetry from top to bottom, not just having big legs or a big upper body or just a standout body part. There needs to be flow within the physique. There needs to be proper presentation, the quality of the muscle. It doesn't need to look like new blown out muscle. It needs to have the graininess, the striations, the separations from one end to the other.
Yeah.
The quality, the 24 karat gold, as Samir Bannout would say. So there's all those aspects of classic and old school bodybuilding, which attains for that smaller look, the classic physique. And if someone's going into classic physique and that's what they're chasing, then by all means, I would like to see that division the division that I'm competing in blow up even more.
It will. It will.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. Yeah, I would. As the meathead that I am, and the fact that I've been a proponent of open bodybuilding, which is just bodybuilding, I do believe that I don't think classic is easier at all, because consistently the top guys in classic at the Arnold Olympia level, they're in better condition from head to toe, front to back, than most of the open bodybuilders. They really are. And proportion, symmetry, shape, presentation, I wouldn't say it's easier at all. Just because these guys are bigger, and I sound like a hypocrite because I follow all the big guys too, but I don't think it's harder. they eat more food. Is it harder to eat more food? Is it harder to take heavier doses of gear? I mean, yeah, I don't think they necessarily work harder. You know, I might get some crap for that, but that's okay.
I don't. I mean, I work very, very hard to the point where it's almost impossible for me to imagine myself working any harder.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine it being, you know, a work ethic thing. Like you said, it might be more food, you know, getting bulkier in the off season. Like we spoke about earlier, I'm staying lean. Maybe that's keeping me small, as some people would say, but I by no means do I consider myself small. And that's another issue with today's day and age. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're too small." What? Like, I mean, I'm 235 pounds, and you know, I'm like 6% body fat. You know, that's small. I mean, back in the day, you know, it wouldn't be considered small at all. So it's just a different look. You know.
You're let's just say you're 6 foot and you competed at 221. Arnold was, I think he was like 6'2" in his youth, wasn't he?
6'1.5", 6'2". Yeah, I'm not exactly for sure.
Yeah, let's call it
somewhere around there.
6'1". I think his best weight was around 225, 230 for most of his Olympic wins. I think one year he was a little heavier. And I think the last year he won, 1980, to me, he looked like he was even lighter. I want to say like 215.
I would think his 1980 weight was significantly lighter, but who knows? You know, at that time, you had Trenbolone hitting the scene, so the body could be, you know, harder, and you know the body composition could be different. You could think he's lighter, but really it's the same weight or maybe more. Who knows?
Yeah.
And who knows how accurate a lot of those measurements are? Like I said, you know, there's, you know, how accurate is a lot of the measurements today.
Yeah.
So who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. I know they only weighed people in at the Olympia in my lifetime. In 1988 was the only time they had weigh-ins at the Mr. Olympia. It was in Los Angeles at the Universal Amphitheater. Everybody was way lighter than what they had been saying they were. Everybody. And they never did weigh-ins after that ever again, because I think people, they're like, we're ruining the fantasy that people have. And they were weighing in tracksuits and sneakers and everything.
Yeah, I think that's the wrong perspective and the wrong mindset to have. You know, bodybuilding shouldn't be, you know, judged based off of a scale. You know, well, how big is it? But it needs to, like I said, come with the beauty of it, the artistry, what people have been dying to see for the last 2 decades, have been begging for, and now it's starting to happen. Yeah. It's starting to happen. And what do people say? Oh, you're still not big enough. Like, goodness gracious, you know, make up your mind. So, yeah, I don't know. I could rant and rant.
I honestly don't think we're seeing less and less huge bodybuilders, even at the pro level.
Yes.
Far less.
Even in the open division, you see a lot of the guys in the open division are starting to look more aesthetic. Guys are focusing on their waists now.
Yeah.
So it's a really good shift to see. It's a great time to be a bodybuilding fan for sure.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps it up. I made up all these questions, guys, but if you have questions for the next time we do one of these, Ask the Texas Oak, please put them in the comments below. I promise I will copy and paste them and use them next time. And Logan will answer your question. If you want your name used, specify it. Otherwise, we don't use the name, because people sometimes say, oh, can't use my name. Anyway, Logan, thank you so much. This has been brought to you by GAT Sports. You're having a great off season. You're looking fantastic.
Thank you.
Got a long time to Olympia, but man, you're putting in the work, and you're exciting to watch. So thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Guys, thanks for watching this first episode of Ask the Texas Oak with Logan Franklin. Please subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, and do all that. And we'll see you right here next time. Thanks for watching.